Hello everybody, Jay here. That's me down there, and with a surname like that. Being a kid of the 1980s, I was traumatized with scores of kids, every school disco, singing Get Down On It. That's how I got into self-hypnosis, through the removal of my childhood trauma of Kool and the Gang. How I really got into self-hypnosis was when I was 19 years of age and I had to take my driving test. Whenever I thought about my driving test, I was nervous, anxious, and stressed. And this was strange because at the time I was doing a lot of meditation. And whenever I meditated, I was calm, comfortable, and relaxed. And I was thinking, how on earth can I do this meditation and be calm, comfortable, and relaxed? Wherein, whenever I think about my driving test, I'm nervous, anxious, and stressed. And that's when I had an idea. What if I took the calm, comfortable, and relaxed context into the nervous, anxious, and stressed context and used it for my driving test? So, what I did was I took myself into my meditative state, then guided myself using my mind all the way through a driving test, imagining the worst possible outcomes like stalling at a roundabout, breaking down, and just saying to myself, I'm calm, comfortable, and relaxed. I'm calm, comfortable, and relaxed. And guess what? I passed my driving test first time. Many years later, I thought to myself, there's something in this meditation thing. And that's when I realized what I was actually doing was self-hypnosis. So welcome to this great training, The Power of Self-Hypnosis, where you learn all about self-hypnosis and, importantly, how to apply it to your specific life or context in the next 20 minutes. The session is designed to be roughly about 20 minutes. It'll be no more than half an hour. Depending on your learning style, you learn this however you see fit. So you can watch it in 3 chunks, or you can watch it in 2 parts, or you can watch it all the way through and binge watch it. On this training, you'll learn 3 things. What self-hypnosis is. You'll also learn a little bit about the origins of self-hypnosis. You'll learn how to apply it, because going into self-hypnosis by itself simply isn't enough. And finally, you'll learn, hopefully through some of the activities and some of my crazy stories and the exercises, why self-hypnosis is so bloody useful. So this guy was a French psychologist and a pharmacist in the late 1800s to the early 1900s, and he had a methodology of mind programming called conscious auto-suggestion. So that's strange, because when we think of working with hypnosis, we think of working with the unconscious mind, and his methodology was called conscious auto-suggestion. So it was becoming aware of words, mantras, phrases, and verbal suggestion to gradually drip, drip, drip influence or subconscious behaviors. This was also unusual at the time because hypnotism held the disempowering view that you needed a hypnotist to experience hypnosis, and that the hypnotist possessed almost special magical powers over the client, rather than the client having the internal ability to facilitate their own positive suggestions. This man was renowned for a conscious auto-suggestion phrase: every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. When you say that, or you hear it, listen to how it feels. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better and better. Incidentally, this formed a line in the John Lennon song Beautiful Boy, which he sang to his son Sean. And it's a very beautiful song, Beautiful Boy. And in that song, it says every day and every way, it's getting better and better and better. Question is, what is it? So what's his name and how do we remember it? Emil Koo. That's probably the worst dad joke that you'll ever hear. But this is the man there. There he is, the godfather of self-hypnosis, Emil Koo. And I can guarantee that that was one name that you will never, ever forget. Trust me, you'll never forget that name. Cool. So now that we've got a bit of a grip on the origins of self-hypnosis, let's just take a look at what self-hypnosis is. This is my definition, and self-hypnosis is a self-applied, keyword there, state of high focus or deep focus, whichever you prefer, whereby a person's susceptibility to their own, keyword again, positive suggestions, we're a pretty positive bunch here, is enhanced in order to transform their internal experience. So in essence, self-hypnosis is a form of trance that, when applied effectively, can significantly enhance your levels of success and happiness in the outside world. So this is the model that I created for you, and it consists of 3 different modalities that we use in self-hypnosis. If you look down at the bottom here, we've got the classic verbal suggestion, calm, comfortable, and relaxed. Using keywords, maybe we use verbal suggestion through audio, putting ourselves into self-hypnosis, putting headphones on and listening to an audio from somebody else or our own voice from a script that we've created. Metaphor, where we work indirectly. So if somebody presents a metaphor, an internal metaphor, like I've just hit a brick wall, then we work with that brick wall. Or it could be something external, like my life is a roller coaster. So metaphor, again, very powerful. And over on the far side there, we've got perception. So this is all about perspective shifts. It's a bit like me getting a different perspective on my driving test by pre-rehearsing a future event. We can also go back to the past and look at uncomfortable past events through a different lens, from a different angle. We can also see things from a bird's eye view or from another person's perspective, and this can really, really help us. And in the middle of that triangle there, we've got induction. So we need to have an induction to get us into the hypnotic state so that we can apply one of these 3 modalities. So today the modality that we're going to use is perception. We're going to be working with that, and we might throw in a little bit of verbal suggestion just to complement it, but the main body of it is working with changing our perspective. With inductions, there's potentially roughly about 3 different types of inductions that we can apply. There's the classic progressive muscle relaxation. The name says it all, really. There's sensory types of induction, like the Milton Erickson autogenic induction, where you're focusing on sensory elements, or the Betty Erickson technique, where you're focusing on 3 things that you see, hear, and feel, all the way down to 2 things that you see, hear, and feel. 1 thing that you see, hear, and feel. Then you say, I feel like closing my eyes. And you go into hypnosis. But today, we're going to be doing a rapid induction. A rapid induction doesn't mean it has to be abrupt or blunt, like when you see some of these hypnotists on YouTube screaming their heads off. It doesn't have to be that. There's a old military saying, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And that's what a rapid induction should be. Something elegant, which takes you into hypnosis quickly and easily so that we can get on with applying the technique. Sound good? Okay, so we're just about ready to go into hypnosis. But before we do even that, there's 3 little things that we need to set up so that the hypnosis session runs smoothly of its own accord. And the first thing is we need to choose the context which we want to work on. So the context means, is it a work situation? Is it something to do with your personal life or relationships? If you're a sports person, is it to do with a specific sports context like sprinting? If you're anxious about going on public transport, what's it about? So be really specific and decide what that is now. The other thing we need to do, number 2, is identify the state that's connected with that. So that's the emotional or psychological state. So just identify what it is. If it's anxious, that's fine. If it's angry, if it's stressed, it could be anything. It could be foggy minded, right? You just identify what the state is and take a note of it. And the last thing that we need to do is identify the positive intention. So the positive intention is just the complete opposite of what you've got now. Whatever it is you've been hypnotizing yourself on now, doing all the things that you don't want to do, then identifying the positive intention is the complete opposite of that. So if you get stuck on it, if you're in a state of like sadness or worry, just ask yourself, what's the opposite of that? So if I say worry, what's the opposite of that? Carefree, footloose and fancy free, things like that. So this is a really important thing here. Sometimes just knowing about this and this ability to switch quickly is a really powerful tool, and it can change your life just knowing that. Great. So now the moment you've all been waiting for, to go into self-hypnosis and journey on a 5-minute holiday. So let's start by resting your hands on your lap and picking a point ahead in the room that's just above eye level. And keep your eyes focused on that specific point. You may notice objects in your peripheral vision, but your head remains still and your eyes focused on that specific point. Now I'm just going to count down from 10 to 1, and when I say close your eyes, sleep. That's a command to slip comfortably into self-hypnosis. So relax, keep your eyes focused on that specific point, and as I begin to count down, I'll intersperse some keywords between the numbers, and with each word you can repeat after me aloud in your head. 10, getting ready for hypnosis. 9, turning your attention inside. 8, feeling relaxed. 7, more relaxed. 6, even more relaxed. 4, deeper down. 3, all the way down. In 2, 1, hypnosis. Close your eyes and sleep. Keep your eyes closed. And take your attention into the eye of the storm, where all the busyness of the world just drifts away into this neutral place. A safe space, a clean place, a happy place in the reservoir of your unconscious mind, where you're ready to scatter the seeds of positive suggestion, because you're ready now to have this wonderfully pleasant experience. So you're going to count back in your head with me from 3 to 1 this time. And when we reach 1 and I click my fingers, in your mind, you'll arrive at a wonderful place where you've either once been on holiday, or maybe it's another place, real or imagined, in the past or the future, in your home or another part of the world or the universe, just somewhere where you're at your optimal state, safe, happy, free to be you. So get ready to feel all those comfortable feelings fully and completely as we count back now. 3, soon you'll be in there looking as if you've seen it through your own eyes, feeling all those wonderful feelings. 2, floating forwards or backwards, drifting above or down, into, towards that beautiful location. Down, down, all the way down, and 1, you're in there now. Ask yourself, where are you? Are you inside or outside? Are you alone or with friends? Are you standing, sitting, or lying down? Now pay attention to what you see, hear, feel, smell, taste, and realize what's the very first thing you notice. And what about the colours? How clear are the visuals? And which colour is the most vivid? And what about the feelings in your body? And is there anything else particularly significant? And I'm just going to invite you to use your imagination, your powerful imagination, to go on a little wander through your favourite holiday or favourite location, to notice the environment, the climate, what you feel on your skin. Smells, are they energizing, calming, or liberating? And knowing that to experience this, you are discovering the meaning and the power of self-hypnosis. And with just a little more practice, you'll soon be able to come right back into this special place in an instant, easily, and at any time you practice and learn self-hypnosis. For now, though, I'd like to invite you to go for a 1-minute walk in and around in your favorite place. Just wander and wander and wander and wander. Let your mind wander and your feet wander, knowing you can go anywhere and feel amazing. So allow yourself to really enjoy what it means to take a stroll and meander freely in your favourite location, and allow yourself 1 minute of free time, free from my voice, to enjoy in your own time your favourite location, and just allow 1 minute to pass. Look around your favourite place, and I'd like you to just take one object from this experience, whether that is something big or small, or a deceptively insignificant object, a symbol, maybe a note, a totem, or something with a keyword written on it, or just an association that triggers a word, image, or an association in your mind that means something on a much deeper level to you and your higher intention. Now give thanks for this gift and put it somewhere safe. Wear it or place it in the back of your mind or your pocket for future use. And know that you can come back to this place at any point when you make a choice just to learn self-hypnosis. And at any time you can come back and experience these good sensations over and again, now that you've learned the basics and discovered how powerful self-hypnosis can be. So take that object inside and bring it back to the present, all the way back. Come back to the present moment and keep it not only as a gift but as a learning, so you can return quickly to your favorite place whenever your keyword or a memory is triggered, or whenever you enter or learn self-hypnosis. So bring that positive memory inside now. Now getting ready to come back into the present moment, storing all those learnings and starting to awaken. So 1, 2, 3, feeling the blood coming back into your body. 4, 5, 6, feeling energized, alive, ready to return to the land of the living. 7, 8, 9, a bit of a stretch, getting ready to open your eyes, and ready. 10, wide awake now. Well, I hope you enjoyed that session. That was just a 5-minute holiday to show you how quickly you can go into the hypnotic state and shift your focus into another mindset and place in a very short space of time. Just imagine what else you can do when you go on even longer journeys, work with metaphor, and all the other inductions, verbal suggestions, perspective shifts to change your sensory experience. If you want to take this just a tiny bit further to upgrade your skills or work on something specific, join me on my Learn Self-Hypnosis Masterclass. If you're on YouTube, the link will be in the description, where the first 25 members get 70% off what is already a pretty modest investment. And just to give you a little insight, I've delivered scores of hypnosis and personal development courses, both in person and online. So here's what some of them have said about me and my courses. You've been a brilliant teacher. Brilliant. Rare balance of subject knowledge and experience delivered in a truly empathetic way. The course gave me what I wanted, needed, and more. And Jay has that excellent knowledge, experience of the subjects and delivered using good, and here's the key word, practical exercises, which is what you need really. Do you know anyone who this could make a real difference for? Maybe a friend, colleague, family member, or a client? If so, please share the link. However, if it's you who is super keen or even just a little bit curious, click the link below, look out for the big blue button on that page, and together we'll learn self-hypnosis.